We have a customer service imbroglio.
You know, I had an idea for Friday Fun, which I think that we'll try to execute next week, but Danny came in here yesterday in the middle of the show, probably about this time, and he looks at me with this look that I've only seen a couple of times, and he's holding his phone, and his mouth is open, and
blinking my eyes.
Yes, he's blinking his eyes real fast, and it's the, oh my God. And you start reading me the exchange between you and this guy, and I'm like, stop, let's do this on the air.
Okay, so the setup is, it is personal truck day for me this weekend, meaning I am moving. I'm moving out of my current...
But you were going to spring training.
No, I'm moving out of my current domicile, which I have resided in for the last 8 years. Found a new place, moving out of the neighborhood, and
Danny bought a house.
It's time.
He's a homeowner, man.
It's something I've been wanting to do for many years and have saved and saved and saved, and finally was able to come up with enough for a modest, very modest down payment. So, yes, I am joining the ranks of you guys.
I'll be waiting for the phone call in 6 months of...
Oh, more like 6 days.
Man, what did I do? Why did you talk me out of this?
I've already said that. Trust me. This is the biggest pain in the buns.
Man, you will be saying that from now on. You'll be saying that in perpetuity.
And you know, I mean, I've made my case on this show for 18 years about being a staunch renter.
Yeah.
That I just don't like to mess with stuff, but it's just gotten to that point where...
It's a good move, man.
What are you going to invest in?
It's a good move.
You know?
It's a good move.
Go see people at Renter's Warehouse. You like it so much.
I don't have to go to Renter's Warehouse anymore, right?
You were hanging out there like every day.
It's a great place to hang out.
It is.
So, in lieu of this move, they have to lease my current place that I've been. And what they do is my landlord, who I have a phenomenal relationship with. This guy, I mean, I would consider him a very good friend. And he's had to they farm this out to a broker. And the broker then handles all of the showings, the organization of all of that, of getting people in, showing them the place, you know, and giving them an idea of what the neighborhood's like to try. They want to lease the place because they're getting a commission off of this if they do.
Mm-hmm.
And how they do this is with automated text messages. So I've kind of set the parameters of, here's when I'm out of the house. It's probably the best time for you to take a look when I'm not there. And those hours are normally from between like 1 and 7 o'clock.
Yeah, they don't want to walk in while you're in your baiting chair.
Yeah, I don't want to be in the baiting chair. I don't want to be brushing my teeth in my undie pants or whatever. So it's worked out very, very good. And they'll send you an automated text message that says, hey, looking to show your place at noon tomorrow. Reply yes to confirm, no to reschedule. And I've had to reply no very few times, mainly just because the 2 days that I took off to be sick and try to get well, I obviously don't want people going through the house then. And then there's been a couple of times that it's just schedule-wise, you know, that the hour before I'm supposed to come to work and I'm getting ready and in the shower. I just don't need that hassle. So there's been a very small handful of times that I've said, no, I can't do it. But 95%, it's always yes. And we're looking at, over the last 2 weeks, dozens and dozens of showings.
Okay.
Like they're really aggressively trying to lease this place. So I get one yesterday, a couple, and they were for the next day, and they were a little too early for me, that I had things going on, because all at the same time, I'm trying to pack and move out of my current space.
Right.
And I'm supposed to be out of there by this weekend. So I get a couple of the automated text messages, and I declined both of them and said, please, let's reschedule, whatever. So I get a text message from an unknown number, and it says this, and it's clearly from the person working for the broker that is trying to assist my landlord in leasing this duplex.
Right.
Tell me if you think this tone is good. All right? This is the first time I've ever heard from this human. I was told only to show after noon. Now it's after 12:30, and you still decline the showings. I'll be sure to let your landlord, names him by name, to know that you have been rejecting the bigger part of showing requests. Lie. That is not true.
Right.
Have not declined the bigger part of showing requests. So here he is dropping the name of my landlord.
And again, this is the first message. Not like, hey, man.
Hey, dude, we're trying to show your place. Can we maybe, what's the best time? Maybe I've got some bad information.
Yes.
You know?
Right out of the chute.
Right out of the chute, this guy is aggressive.
Guns blazing.
Okay? And I don't like the tone. So I just reply, I kind of let it go for a second, and I go, no, anytime after 1:30 tomorrow, please. He writes back, I've let blank know, meaning the first name of my landlord. Like, that is supposed to intimidate me in some way.
Right.
Oh, you're telling on me to my landlord? To even if I didn't like this guy, a place that I'm moving out and if I wanted to, could not give more than than 0 Fs what anybody thinks right now because I'm dropping the mic and leaving.
Right.
Suck it. So at that point, I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to be bullied by this anonymous human being via text message. So I send him this. And I don't think this was personally attacking in any way at all, simply stating the facts, giving him a little background with a tiny, tiny bit of snark. Shall I?
Yeah.
This is my reply. To be perfectly frank, I've allowed dozens of showings that have been inconveniences during my process to move. This has been a high rate of showings over the last 2 weeks. I've bent over backwards to make sure the place is very presentable, which is difficult while I'm trying to pack. And considering that I've been there 8 years and paid upwards to $100,000 in rent over that time, I think I've earned a bit of equity not to be overly inconvenienced by your showings. So feel free to walk it back and lose your tone. Thanks. I'll be out 100% by mid next week. Then you can show it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week if you choose.
Walk it back.
And then I said, quote unquote, bigger part of showing requests, saying that he's saying that I'm not making them available. I'm declining the bigger part of showing requests. I'm like, that's not true. I said, bigger part of showing requests, BS.
Perfectly acceptable. And to be honest with you, if I would have been, I can't imagine what you would have done.
What I would have done?
With that first text. But with the tone of the first text.
All right, before I got to that point, I think I would have gotten a hold of the landlord and told him what was going on with this cat.
Okay. After his reply to that is when I did get a hold of the landlord and shared this information about this cat.
Your friend.
Yes. So after that, letting him know, hey, I'm not just some 21-year-old hipster that's on the back end of a 6-month lease that's just douching
whatever,
up
man.
on Lower Greenville, bro, just taking my time and whatever. I'm letting him know. It's like, dude, I've been here a long time. This has been a difficult week. I'm trying to move. And no, that's not true. I have acquiesced and said yes to multiple showings and only declined a few. He writes back this. Get a life, loser.
Oh, my God.
That's it?
That's it.
Wow.
Get a life, loser.
Oh?
This man who was hired to do a job, a professional job, as a broker to lease an apartment. That's his response.
Wow.
So at this point, I fully know exactly who I'm dealing with. I'm dealing with a man that has zero awareness of his surroundings, consideration for other people, and it's all about him. And when he gets terse and wants to make a jackassery point, nobody questions him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you know the type where
again,
it's like, hey, when I bark, you listen.
We've had this discussion in the last couple of weeks about who behaves this way. Like we've had several instances of people who are like, man, why? Who does this? What kind of human being acts this way?
Yeah. So I take a few deep breaths and immediately screenshot all of this and send it to my landlord. And he's like, I can't believe this. This is ridiculous. I cannot believe this is happening. I'm so sorry. And he's like, we have a really good relationship.
Yeah.
And he's apologizing, saying, don't worry, I'm going to handle this, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. But I do need to reply to this.
Yeah.
I really feel like I need to reply to this.
Uh-huh.
So after get a life, loser, I say, nice, really nice. I actually obtained a life a while back, one that doesn't involve spending my days showing rental apartments and duplexes. Oh, and furthermore, for the record, my landlord and I use his name, are very good friends. I'm sure he's loving the screenshots of this text thread that I just sent him. Get a life, loser? Way to represent your client. Later, douche. He replies,
oh, boy.
This is the best. The best, Jerry. He replies, "That's right. You spend your life in a bar and smoke cigarettes for pleasure."
What does that even mean?
Smoke you a cigarette.
He goes on, "I made over $365,000 last year showing duplexes. Ha ha. And now who's the dirt bag?"
God, no!
Yes.
No!
Oh, yes. So I guess because I'm opposed to showing place, and I don't know this guy. This guy doesn't know me from Adam.
Yeah.
No idea. Because I'm opposed to early morning showings while I'm packing and getting ready to move. I prefer them do it while I'm at work. That means I live in a bar. I mean, some of this isn't too far from the truth. And the fact that there's an ashtray on my patio means I smoke cigarettes for pleasure.
Why else do you smoke?
Yes. So he has to share his income information with me to let me know that he made $365,000 last year showing duplexes.
No.
That's good, little buddy.
Hey, let me tell you something. Somebody that brags about how much money they make normally does not have that much money.
No.
I replied, talking about who's the dirtbag now, and I said, "Yeah, I'm doing the comparison. It's still you." And then I ask him, I go, "I need your name and your company information." He gives it. He says, "My broker is blah, blah, blah. My broker owner is blah, blah, blah. I'll let him know you're reaching out. Thanks." And I said, "Never mind. I found out who you are." And I go, "Don't judge." And this is where I kind of go off the rails a little bit because gloves are off at this point.
Sure.
And not necessarily everything that I'm saying in this text message is true, but it's for fun.
You have the right.
Yeah. I go, "By the way, you probably don't need to judge someone's life on where they live. They might be in your exact same tax bracket with tentacles that reach much further than you could ever fathom. That's it for now. Oh, and when you're ready to apologize to me for attacking me personally, I'm open to it. If not, well, best of luck to you, sir. Good day. I will not be reaching out to your broker. There's no need whatsoever."
Man.
And this was at the point where he was not picking up the phone from my landlord, and he stopped texting me because, as I found out later in the middle of this thread, somebody said, "Oh, that's Danny from the ticket."
And you better shut up, or else he's going to go off on a rant on you.
He's going to invoke his 50,000 Twitter followers to inundate our office with phone calls.
Yeah. But
which I would never do.
No, we're
and
above that.
And I would never put this guy's name out in public. There's no need for that. But, man,
what
when you don't think that element exists in the world, boy, they sure as hell do, especially in this town.
And I can promise you his company has been freaking out the last 24 hours knowing that you could mention the company, and he's probably been sweating this out, which has been good punishment.
Yeah, it's fine.
Very good punishment.
Well,
wow.
Anyway, that was fun yesterday.
Whew.
You like that, Mike?
Love
you
that.
Like dealing with people like that?
No, I don't have. I generally don't have to do it too often.
But don't you love when you run into the person with the judgmental, wealthy, self-entitlement?
God.
Oh, God.
It's a bad scene.
Don't be that way, people. You're better than that.